I'm Tatocat. Welcome to my channel. Today we are playing Doki Doki Literature Club. If you're under the age of 13 or easily disturbed, do not play. Although if you've gotten to this point, you started the disturbing part already. Yeah, I'm just being a responsible person in saying that. You know, I can't get in trouble if you do something. So last time, the game broke our brains a little bit. It seems like. And Sayori is now forgotten. And then Yuri keeps saying weird things that are going by so fast that I can't read them. And then they're not in the history for some reason. Yeah, that's kind of where we left off. Alright, let's continue. So, I'm sorry if I end up saying something strange. And please stop me if I start talking too much. I really don't think you need to worry. That just means you're passionate about reading. The least I can do is listen. It's a literature club after all. That's true. In fact, I might as well get started reading, right? Yes. I mean, you don't have to, but... What are you saying? Just let me get the book. I quickly retrieved the book that I had put into my bag. Alright, it's fine if I sit here, right? I slip into the seat next to Yuri's. Yeah. Are you sure? You seem a little apprehensive. I'm sorry. It's not that I don't want you to. It's just something I'm not very used to. That is, reading in company with someone. I see. Well, just tell me if I end up distracting you or anything. Alright. I open the book and start the prologue. I soon understand what Yuri means about reading in company. It's as if I can feel her presence over my shoulder as I read. It's not a particularly bad thing. Maybe a little distracting, but the feeling is somewhat comforting. Yuri's in the corner of my eye. I realize that she's not actually looking at her own book. I glance over. It looks like she's reading from my book instead. So sorry. I was just bathing in the feeling of your what? 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 I was just bathing in the... What? Yuri, you really apologize a lot, don't you? I do? I don't really mean to. Sorry. I mean... Here. This should work, right? Not if the game keeps making words go by and I can't read them and they're not in the history. I slide my desk until it's up against Yuri's, then hold my book more between the two of them. I suppose so. Yuri timidly closes her own copy. Once we each lean in a little bit, our shoulders are almost touching. It feels like my left arm is in the way, so instead, I use my right hand to hold the book open. I guess that makes it kind of difficult to turn the page. Here. Yuri takes her left arm and holds the left side of the book between her thumb and forefinger. I do the same with my right arm on the right side of the book. That way, I turn the page and Yuri slides it under her thumb after it flips to her side. But in holding the book like this, we're huddled even closer together than before. It's actually kind of distracting me. It's as if I can feel the warmth of Yuri's face and she's in the corner of my vision. Are you ready? the page. Sorry. I think I got a bit distracted for a second. I glance over at Yuri's face, and her eyes meet. I don't know how I'll be able to keep up with her. That's okay. You're not as used to reading, right? I don't mind being patient if it takes you a little bit longer. It's probably the least I can do. Since you've been so patient with me, and the things that you say that randomly go by really fast and disappear, yes. Yes, I have. Yeah. Thanks. We continue reading. Yuri no longer asks me if I'm ready to turn the page. Instead, I just assume that she finishes the page before me, so I turn it by my own volition. We continue the first chapter in silence. Even so, turning each page almost feels like an intimate exchange. My thumb gently letting go of the page, letting it flutter over to her side as she catches it under her own thumb. Hey Yuri. This might be a silly thought, but the main character kind of reminds me of you a little bit. The face change is great because, well, she did say it was about a murder camp, basically. So yeah, this is actually a warranted expression. Huh? No, I don't relate to this character at all. Definitely not. Really? I was just thinking the way she second guesses things she says and all that. Ah. That's what you were talking about. Sorry. I thought you meant something else about her. Something else? Never mind. We didn't even get that far yet. So I don't know why that came into my head. Yuri, are you feeling alright? Huh? Yuri's been a little fidgety ever since we started reading. You can rest if you're feeling sick or something. Your breathing is a little... My breathing? Yuri puts her hand on her chest, as if to feel her heartbeat. I didn't even notice. Anyway, I'm fine. I just need some water. Alright, don't push yourself. Yuri stands up and practically rushes out of the classroom. What on earth was that about? Satsuma? Did something happen just now? I have no idea. Yuri was acting a little strange, I guess. So, you don't know anything? Sorry, I can't say I do. Are you worried about her? Oh, no, not really. I was just making sure that you didn't do anything to her. No, nothing. Don't worry. I believe you, silly. Yuri just does this sometimes, so it's nothing alarming. Alright, if you say so. Anyway, why don't we start sharing poems with each other? Shouldn't we wait for Yuri? Well, she might be a while, so I just figured we'd get started without her. Is that okay? Yeah, I was just asking. I stand up. I make a mental note of where I left off in the book and then slip it back into my bag. Who should I show my poem to first? Monica? Because it starts with an M? Yuri's not here. I should start with Monica. Yesterday she seemed eager to read my poem, and I want her to know I'm putting in effort. Hi, Satsuma. Having a good time so far? Yeah. Good, glad to hear it. By the way, since you're new and everything, have you ever had any suggestions for the club, like new activities or things we can do better? I'm always listening. Don't be afraid to bring things up, okay? Alright, I'll keep that in mind. Of course, I'll be afraid to bring things up. I'm much better off just going with the flow until I'm more settled in. Anyway, want to share your poem with me? It's kind of embarrassing, but I guess I have to. Don't worry, Satsuma. We're all a little embarrassed today, you know. But it's that sort of barrier that we'll all learn to get past soon. Yeah, that's true. I hand Monica my poem. Great job, Satsuma. I was going, whoa, in my head while reading it. It's really metaphorical. I'm not sure why, but I didn't expect you to go for something so deep. I guess I underestimated you. It's easiest for me to keep everyone's expectations low. That way, it always counts when I put in some effort. That's not very fair. Well, I guess it worked out anyway. You know that Yuri likes this kind of writing too, right? Writing that's full of imagery and symbolism. Sometimes I feel like Yuri's mind is just totally detached from reality. I don't mean that like it's a bad thing though. But sometimes I get the impression she's just totally given up on people. She spent so much time in her own head that it's probably a much more interesting place for her. But that's why she gets so happy when you treat her with a lot of kindness. I don't think she's used to being indulged like that. She must be really starved for social interaction, so don't blame her for coming on a little strongly. Like earlier. I think if she gets too stimulated, she ends up withdrawing and looking for alone time. Suddenly the door opens. Yuri! I'm back. Did I miss anything? Just Monica's talking some trash about you in a very nice way. Not really. Well, we all started sharing a poem with each other. Huh? Already? I'm sorry for being late. No need to apologize. We still have plenty of time. So, I'm more glad that you took all the time you needed. Alright. Thanks, Monica. I suppose I should go get my poem now. Anyway, do you want to read my poem now? Don't worry, I'm not very good. You sound pretty confident for someone who claims to not be very good. Well, that's because I have to sound confident. That doesn't mean I always feel that way, you know? I see. Well, let's read it then. Hole in wall. But he wasn't looking at me. Confused, I frantically glanced at my surroundings, but my burned eyes could no longer see color. Are there others in this room? Are they talking? Or are they simply poems on a flat sheet of paper? The sound of frantic crawling, playing tricks on my ears? The room begins to crinkle, closing in on me. The air I breathe dissipates before it reaches my lungs. I panic. There must be a way out. It's right there. He's right there. Swallowing my fears, I brandish my pen. Okay. So, what do you think? It's very freeform, if that's what you call it. Sorry, I'm not really the right person to ask for feedback. It's okay. Yeah, that kind of style has gotten pretty popular nowadays. That is, a lot of poems have been putting emphasis on the timing between words and lines. When performed out loud, it can be really powerful, not the way I read it. What was the inspiration behind this one? Well, I'm not sure if I know how to put it. I guess you could say I had some kind of epiphany recently. It's been influencing my poems a bit. epiphany? Yeah, something like that. I'm kind of nervous to talk about deep stuff like that because it's kind of coming on strongly. Maybe after everyone is better friends with each other. Anyway, here's Monica's writing tip of the day. Sometimes when you're writing a poem or a story, your brain gets too fixated on a specific point. If you try so hard to make it perfect, then you'll never make any progress. Just force yourself to get something down on paper and tidy it up later. Another way to think about it is this. If you keep your pen in the same spot for too long, you'll just get a big dark puddle of ink. So, just move your hand and go with the flow. That's my advice for today. Thanks for listening. Who should I show my poem to next? Yuri, who we wanted to show her poem to in the first place, but she wasn't there. Is something crazy gonna happen again though? As Yuri reads the poem, I notice her eyes lighten. Exceptional! What was that? Did I just say that out loud? Yuri first covers her mouth, but then ends up covering her whole face. He's going to hate me. You really didn't do anything wrong, Yuri. I guess you're right. What am I getting nervous for? Yuri takes a breath. So, what kind of writing experience do you have? Your use of imagery and metaphors indicate you've written a lot of poetry before. Yeah, in a previous life we have. Lots of line poems. Really? Wow, that's a huge compliment coming from you. This is actually my first time, really. Huh? Yuri stares at me blankly, then looks at my poem again. Well, I know that. I just mean, Yuri trails off, unable to find an excuse. She traces her fingers along the words in the poem, as if breaking it down more thoroughly. Yeah. Okay. This is the reason I was able to tell. It's just that there are specific writing habits that are usually typical of new writers. And having been through that myself, I kind of learned to pick up on them. I think the most noticeable thing I've recognized in new writers is that they try to make their style very deliberate. In other words, they tend to pick a writing style separate from the topic matter, and then they form-fit the two together. The end result is that both the style and the expressiveness are weakened. Once Yuri finds her train of thought, it's as if her demeanor totally changes. Her stammering is completely gone, and she sounds like an expert. Of course, that's not something you can be blamed for. There are so many different skills and techniques that go into writing even a simple poem. Not just finding them and building them, but getting them to work together is probably the most challenging part. It might take you some time, but it all comes with practice and learning by example and trying new things. I also hope that everyone else in the club gives you valuable feedback. Natsuki can be a little bit biased though. A little bit biased? A little bit? She won't even let me read her poems now. Biased? How? Well, never mind. I shouldn't be talking about other people like that. Sorry. It's fine. I'm not sure if Yuri is apologizing to herself, to me, or to Natsuki. Do you mind if I read your poem now? Please do. I'd love to share my thought process behind it. Yuri smiles dreamily, as if that's a rare opportunity for her, which itself is kind of funny. After all, isn't this supposed to be a literature club? Ghost Under the Light. We've read this one before. It looks like it's the exact same one, but I'll read it again. The tendrils of my hair illuminate beneath the amber glow. Bathing. It must be this one. The last remaining streetlight to have withstood the test of time. the last yet to be replaced by the sickening blue-green hue of the future. I bathe, calm, breathing air of the present but living in the past. The light flickers. I flicker back. Yep, same one. I'm sorry, I have such terrible handwriting. What? I wasn't thinking that at all. But it took you a long time to read. It did not take me that long to read. Well, I just don't read script very often. I actually think your handwriting is pretty. Yeah? That's a relief. I also like the poem. Even though it's short, it was really descriptive. It wasn't too short? I usually write longer poems. Not at all. I'm really glad you like it. I'll be honest. Since it's our first time sharing, I wanted to write something a little more mild. Less murdery, full of death and depression. I mean, something easy to digest, I suppose. Are you into ghost theory? Actually, the story isn't about a ghost at all, Satsuma. Really? I must have totally missed the point. Well, I suppose you did only glance it over after all. But remember, the poets often express their own thoughts and feelings and experiences in their work. They usually do more than tell a simple story or paint a picture. In this case, perhaps the object of the poem is only being symbolically compared to a ghost, lingering in her last remaining place of comfort, unable to let go of the past, and soon to be left with nothing. That's a lot more solemn, putting it that way. I hadn't even thought of that. That's impressive. Huh? It's nothing really. Yours was impressive too, so... Nah. If anything, I could probably learn a thing or two from you. Like writing sentences and not lists. Yeah. You think so? Yeah, of course. You know, I was really nervous about doing this. I was really nervous about doing all this. But in the end, I enjoyed it. I'm going to keep doing my best for you, Satsuma. Me too. Who should I show my poem to next? Natsuki. Wasn't expecting that. It's probably not supposed to be funny, but it was. We shocked her so much her eyes popped out. Satsuma, if you're not going to take this cup seriously, then go home. What? Harsh? What, you expect me to believe that you actually put effort into this? Into my lion poem? Yes. I had to pay attention about who was hopping up and down when I chose the words. Do you think I'm stupid? I'm not a writer. Maybe it's not very good, but yeah, I did put effort. We all start somewhere, right? If you're still proud of the first poem you ever wrote, then I'd like to read it. In your face. Painful to think about? Fine. Well, sorry. You'll get better anyway. I tell you what to improve, but you're better off just trying again. Fair enough. Well, to each their own, I guess. Anyway, I guess I gotta share mine now. Knowing you, you'll probably think it's stupid, but you don't know me. This is also the same. Eagles can fly, monkeys can climb, crickets can leap, horses can race, owls can seek, cheetahs can run, eagles can fly, people can try, but that's about it. Yeah, I told you that you weren't gonna like it. I like it. What? just be honest. I am. Why are you so convinced I wouldn't like it? Well, because everyone in high school thinks that writing has to be all sophisticated and stuff. So people don't even take my writing seriously. But isn't the point of poems for people to express themselves? Your writing style wouldn't make your message any less valid. Yes, exactly. I like it. I like when it's easy to read, but it hits you hard. Like in this poem. Seeing everyone around you do great things can be really disheartening. So I decided to write about it. Yeah, I understand. But the other nice thing about simple writing is that it puts more weight on the wordplay. Like, I set up for a rhyme at the end, but then made it fall flat on purpose. It helps bring out the feeling in the last line. So you did. I guess more went into it than I realized. That's what it means to be a pro. I'm glad you learned something. Didn't expect that from the youngest one here, did you? Yeah? Guess not. I decided to humor her with that last comment. I don't really care how old everyone is, but if Natsuki is feeling proud, then I won't take that away from her. Yeah, her eyeballs might pop out again. Phew. Guess that's everyone. I glanced around the room. That was a little more stressful than I anticipated. The music just changed. Oh, wait a second. Okay, I just noticed this. Do you see this picture here? Of Sayori hanging herself on the back wall. Right there. How long has that been there? I'm pretty sure people who are watching this are face palming themselves at this moment, because this has probably been there since the game restarted. But yeah, that's messed up. The background work, the art in this game is just so good. Look at all of the details. Okay, back to this. It's as if everyone is judging me for my mediocre writing abilities. Even if they're just being nice, there's no way my poems can stand up to theirs. This is a literature club after all. I sigh. I guess that's what I ended up getting myself into. Across the room, Monika is writing something in her notebook. My eyes land on Yuri and Natsuki. They gingerly exchange sheets of paper, sharing their respective poems. As they read in tandem, I watch each of their expressions change. Natsuki's eyebrows furrow in frustration. Meanwhile, Yuri smiles sadly. What's with this language? Did you say something? Oh, it's nothing. Natsuki dismissively returns the poem to the desk with one hand. I guess you could say it's fancy. Thanks. Yours is cute? Cute? Did you completely miss the symbolism or something? It's clearly about the feeling of giving up. How can that be cute? I know that. I just meant the language, I guess. I was trying to say something nice. You mean you have to try that hard to come up with something nice to say? Thanks, but it really didn't come out nice at all. Well, I do have a couple of suggestions. If I was looking for suggestions, I would ask someone who actually liked it. Which people did, by the way. Monika liked it, and Satsuma did too. So based on that, I'll gladly give you some suggestions of my own. First of all, excuse me, I appreciate the offer, but I've spent a long time establishing my writing style. I don't expect it to change anytime soon, unless of course I come across something particularly inspiring, which I haven't yet. And Satsuma liked my poem too, you know. He even told me he was impressed by it. Natsuki suddenly stands up. Oh? I didn't realize that you were so invested in trying to impress our new member, Yuri. Huh? That's not what I... You're just... Yuri stands up as well. Maybe you're just jealous that Satsuma appreciates my advice more than he appreciated yours. Huh? How do you know he didn't appreciate my advice more? Are you that full of yourself? No. If I was full of myself, I would deliberately go out of my way to make everything I do overly cutesy. Well, you know what? I wasn't the one whose boobs magically grew a size bigger as soon as Satsuma started showing up. Natsuki! Oh, Natsuki, that's a little... This doesn't involve you. Taking out your own insecurities on others like that. Okay. Alright. You really act as young as you look, Natsuki. Me? Look who's talking about wannabe edgy bitch. Edgy? Sorry. Now my lifestyle is too much for someone of your Sorry that my lifestyle is too much for someone of your mental age to comprehend. See? Just seeing that proves my point. Most people learn how to get over themselves after they graduate middle school, you know. If you want to prove anything, then stop harassing others with your sickening attitude. You think you can counterbalance your toxic personality just by dressing and acting cute? The only good thing about you is how hard you try. Well, being careful or you might cut yourself on the edge, Yuri. Oh, my bad. You already do that, don't you? Did you just accuse me of cutting myself? What the fuck is wrong with your head? Yeah, go on. Let Satsuma hear everything you really think. I'm sure he'll be head over heels for you after this. Suddenly Yuri turned towards me as if she just noticed I was standing here. Satsuma? She's just trying to make me look bad. That's not true. Oh, this is messing with my brain so much. This noise and the static. She started it. How did I get dragged to sound like a blah blah blah? That's so moving so fast. We'll take Yuri's side. 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 Yuri. Hi, Monica. Monica? Hey, Satsuma. Why don't we step out for a little bit? Okay? Okay. Sorry about that. They really shouldn't have tried to get you involved. It's probably better for us to just stay out of this. You'll go back inside once they're done yelling. Some president I am, right? I can't even confront my own club members properly. I just wish I was able to be a little more assertive sometimes. But I never have it in me to put my foot down against others. You just legit stopped me from making a choice, so apparently you do. You understand, right? Anyway, if this makes you want to spend less time with the others, then that's fine. What? I'd be happy to spend time with you instead. Suddenly Natsuki runs out of the classroom. She quickly runs away. Oh dear. Well, looks like they're all done. I didn't mean it. I didn't mean it. I didn't mean it. Yuri's rocking back and forth in her desk with her palms on her forehead. Yuri? I didn't mean it. I believe you. I have no idea what Yuri might have said to Natsuki. Or did. Satsuma? Please don't hate me. Please. I'm not like this. There's something wrong with me today. It's fine, Yuri. We know you didn't mean it. Besides, I'm sure Natsuki will forget all about it by tomorrow. Completely. Anyway, the meeting is over, so you can go home now if you want. Yuri looks at me like she wants to say something, but she keeps glancing at Monica. You can go first, Monica. I'd like to stay a little bit longer. I'm the president, so I should be the last one out. I'll wait for you to be done. Well, I'm vice president, so please let me take that responsibility today. It kind of sounds like you don't want me around for something, Yuri. It's not that. It's not that. I didn't get much of a chance to discuss my book with Satsuma. It would just be embarrassing with you listening. I guess I don't really have a choice, do I? I'm sorry for causing trouble, but I really... So we just end the conversation there. Okay, game. Alright, we'll end here for this episode. If you haven't already, like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you next time. I am Tatocat. Have a wonderful morning, evening, afternoon.